Another tough game Saturday night in Kennesaw. Still beating ourselves. Had 5 turnovers. Created no turnovers. Very lackluster effort in the first half. We turned it on in the second half, but it was a little bit too late, and we've got to avoid being the team that finishes a game and everybody applauds them because they played in the fourth quarter. We've got to start the game and play extremely hard and competitive to give ourselves a chance to win. And that's the challenge this week in practice. That's the challenge moving forward, is just we have to start a lot faster.
Questions?
I mean, despite the turnovers, your offense was still moving the ball pretty well. What were some of the things you saw that you liked from the offense?
I think they gained it. I mean, it helps whenever we had video. Like that was kind of week one. We didn't harp on that or give them an excuse, but we had no video of what defense we were going to play. So having video and kind of knowing what fronts and coverages and everything were coming helped a lot. And then I think just keep getting to play. Some guys that was their second game ever in college. Some guys just to get 80 more reps, they got better after a week of practice. Andre at quarterback continues to get better, and he would like to have some of those throws back that were intercepted, but that's part of being a freshman. As long as he's learning from those throws and they're not happening in vain, then we're good with it. We understand that's if he's a freshman at USC, he's going to make some questionable. That's just part of the progression of growing. So we're really excited. His second start ever, he throws for 292 yards and makes some big time plays and uses his feet and extends plays and gets first downs and really sacrifices his body a couple times for the team to get first downs. And I think that his leadership and the team really is starting to rally behind him a lot.
Yeah, how do you feel he's adjusting to that leadership role?
He's young, but he's always been a quarterback, and he's always been in that role. Mm-hmm. It's hard for young quarterbacks to understand they don't just get to walk into it when they get to college. So he's done a nice job being patient, letting it happen, not trying to go just because he started a couple games being this vocal, all over the place guy. He's just letting it naturally happen, and he leads, vocally every now and then, but a lot of it's just his play, his consistency, is being a consistent teammate, a great teammate. And so we're going to keep grinding, and he's going to keep getting better. And hopefully our offense, if we can just hold on to the ball, we can win with the effort that they gave. We just the minute, basic, fundamental, and the importance that should overshadow anything else that we do. Ball security and taking care of the ball is not happening right now.
Last week you talked a little bit about Wilkes and how he needs to. He's good for throwing him in there to get a touchdown, but he needs to learn how to play the rest of the game. Do you expect him to have more of a contribution this week?
It's whatever he can handle. We're going to throw stuff at him. Today we've already had practice, and tomorrow, and see what he can do. And if we feel comfortable that he can go out there and do the job and protect himself and make plays and not put anybody else in danger, then he'll play. But he's got to prove to us that he's willing to get extra work in on his own and watch extra film and ask questions and take notes in meetings and be an elite grinder, as we would say, of game prep, and understanding that he has to know where to line up and what fundamentals to use. And if he can do that, he can be a special player. I think he's going to be a special player. It's just, does he want to do it sooner rather than later?
After the game, you talked a little bit about defensively, and like during the Kennesaw game, you said, early on, it was like people were getting confused because it was like focus on this, focus on this, focus on this, and then once you let them just play. So how is the defensive approach this week?
The same thing. Just we've got to, again, what's important to us is, are you going to play hard every play? Are you going to have the courage to trust your technique that your coaches have coached you to do, or are you going to do what feels comfortable? And a lot of times kids in the first half were feeling, they were doing what feels comfortable to them, which is usually going to end up in a big play for the other team. Are they going to know what to do? Are they going to care for their teammates? And so that's really all we're talking about. And we just play the play as hard as you can, and then reset, and then evaluate it and move on, and do that. If there's 60 plays, do that 60 times. If you get 60 reps in a game, but we did it today in practice. We kept harping on it. It's just our coaches. Our coach is going to have the discipline to continue to do this and maintain our focus on what's really important, or am I and our other coaches going to get distracted on scheme and other things that really don't have any influence on the game if you can't play hard and you don't know your job and you don't show courage to trust your technique. So that's a challenge for me and the rest of the staff.
Okay. Oh yeah, so like defensively, you know, what are their biggest offensive, like, I don't know, who's their biggest playmaker? Who are you keying in on?
Well, defensively, they got really good defense, two really good defensive linemen, really good defensive end, and they got some veterans in the backfield that have made plays. And like I told our team this morning, they were 4-8 last year, but that doesn't mean that they're a 4-8 team. They lost 6 games by 10 points or less, and they were in every game. And you know, this is a team I think Coach New, you know, he's relatively new to the program. I think that they're an up-and-coming MAC program, and you know, the Western Michigans, the Toledos, the Northern Illinois, all those teams that have made national impact in the last 10 years. I think they're on the cusp of doing that. He's recruited really well. There's some young talent on offense and defense. Got a really savvy quarterback. You know, they're a pro-style offense and defense, and their defensive coordinator, Coach Elson, I remember him, you know, being the head coach at Western Kentucky for 7 years, I believe. And they're very sound, and you can tell that they've got great leadership from the defensive coordinator who was a head coach and the staff, the discipline that they play with, the relentlessness that they play with. So they just pose, not only are they a little bit physically bigger than us maybe, but they're sound. There's a lot of times you'll play teams that aren't sound, and you can attack certain weaknesses, you know, of how a defense is trying to defend you or an offense is trying to attack you. But we've not found that yet. Very well coached team. Very impressed watching them on tape.
Yes,
You talked about changing the culture, from getting away from the celebrating in the fourth quarter, about playing well. How is that translated into practice this week?
Do I and do the coaches have the discipline to coach when a kid jogs off the field? Are we going to see it, and are we going to hold them accountable? The little things that we are telling our kids daily since we've been here that are going to beat you and they're important, are we going to hold them to a high standard? Are we going to make sure that we're wearing ankle braces? Are we going to make sure that we have the right pads in? Are we going to make sure that our shirts are tucked in? Are we going to make sure that the hat's off in the building? Are we going to make sure our pants are pulled up? You know, all those things, are we going to do that? And if we do, I think it'll correlate into us winning games. Right now, if we can't do little things like run off a field or clap and stretch better than anybody in the country or not take our hats off in the building, little simple things, if we can't do those, how can we win a game?
I know the FBS games are the ones that the players look forward to each year. How are they reacting to the matchup this week?
I think they're really focused, and our coaches, assistant coaches, have done a nice job. I haven't really talked much about Ball State. Like, I think they know we play Ball State. They just know we play Saturday.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're doing a nice job of, it really doesn't matter if we can't handle the details and the standards in our culture. If we can't do these simple things, we could go play, you know, any midget or peewee team in the country and struggle. So, you know, we're focused on us, and until we get that to a point of, to our standard of professionalism that we're looking for, we're going to struggle. So hopefully we get a little bit better this week and have a chance to play in a game on Saturday and compete at a high level.
Any other questions?
My last one, just, I know it's still early in the season, but with an 0-2 record, how important is a win this week?
I mean, it's important, but it's not important. It's not a conference game, so really, you know, we're 0-2, but luckily for us, the way this schedule is set up is we've had a 3-week preseason. I mean, ultimately, where we are in the you know, we're not planning to go to the Rose Bowl or get into the national playoff, luckily.
Right.
So it doesn't. If we lose one game, we're just not, you know, destroyed. Yeah. So we have to make sure, what are our issues, what adverse moments have come up, how are we getting better through those adverse moments, are we learning through those adverse moments? And in the first 2 weeks, we've had plenty. Are we getting better? Because if we're not getting better, then we're losing for no reason, and we're not going to get done what we need to get done here. And if we're losing and learning lessons and getting better each week, then we're doing it the right way, and we're going to be fine moving forward. So if we win this week, great, but that doesn't change the next week. I mean, you know, we're still going to do the same exact things over and over and over. If we lose this week, doesn't matter. That's not going to change. So we're just locked in. Again, it's boring, but just our process and our coaches and myself being disciplined enough to just grind on it daily, and what's really important.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.